Welcome to the Native Diamond Podcast.
Oh, shit! What you waiting for?
Okay. What the fuck is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. And on today's episode, I'm featuring Nicolas Cage Fighter. What a fucking dope name for a band. I had a conversation with Nick and Tom. Thank you guys so much again. And Nick had to cut out because he was at work. So that was pretty ballsy of him to use his time for like his work break to be on Native Diamond Podcast, a podcast first for sure. So thank you so much. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode. So if you guys like metallic hardcore, that type of shit, really heavy, awesome shit, you guys will love this band. I recommend you checking them out. And we're going to play a little bit before we get into this interview. So I hope you guys enjoy. Here's from their latest single, Devil's Head.
Get out of my head! When are you ready? You're so close and I can't even touch your recent glance. What was it to my zombies and bullshit with me? Me was a killer with the glossy and could manifest. I can't stand this. The devil was within. Reach for
What's up, my dudes? Seth Mick here. This is Native Diamond Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always. Today, I'm hanging out with Nick and Tom from Nicolas Cage Fighter, metal hardcore outfit based out of Australia. What's up, guys?
How are
Not too much, man. How you doing?
Doing great. Just thankful that you guys are hanging out for the time being.
Yeah, thanks
for having us.
Of course. I love what you guys do, and I just wanted to give back in my own way, so...
Good job, mate.
Well, anyways, if you've never seen the show before, I start off with Icebreaker questions. They're about 25 or so either or style questions. I just ask, you say the first thing that comes to mind. And I'll go ahead and kick it off with the first one. Let's start with Nick first.
Mm-hmm.
D's Nuts the joke or D's Nuts the band?
The joke.
No way.
I'm wearing a D's Nuts shirt right now.
Badass, dude. I fucking love that band. And it's just funny because like every time I'm like, do you like D's Nuts? And they're like, oh, haha. And I'm like, no, it's a real band and they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, they put on a fucking good show, that's for sure. Haven't seen them in ages, but I remember it being fun as fuck.
So you've obviously caught a couple shows.
Yeah. Well, I've only been to like one or two of theirs, but yeah, plenty of gigs over the years.
Yeah, I was just curious. Are they like bigger, I guess, where you're at?
Yeah. They were one of the premier hardcore acts probably the last 10 years or so.
Okay.
They're huge in Australia.
Okay. That's kind of what I gathered. Mm-hmm. All right, sick. Second question. Do you guys like UFC or traditional boxing?
UFC.
Don't really. Yeah, I got to go the same. Like, I don't really follow either of them that much, but UFC is just interesting to watch for sure. It's got a lot more energy to it.
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely.
Yeah, I'm not a huge boxing fan, but I am looking forward to the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones fight. That's going to be sick.
Yeah.
It should be mad.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard of these bands, but we'll go for it. Paleface or Alpha Wolf?
Ooh, Alpha Wolf.
Alpha Wolf, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Their new album, A Quiet Place to Die, I only actually sussed it out like for the first time a couple of days ago, and I'm actually really surprised by it. It's a lot more interesting than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah. No, that's fucking very valid. I was very surprised with it, and I'm a huge fan of like sharp tone bands now. I'm a sucker for that record label. they have really good acts, so it's been good.
Yeah.
Coke or Diet Coke?
I'm all about my sugar, man.
Yeah, absolutely. If it doesn't have sugar, I don't want it.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys are like horror movie guys, but since it is close to Halloween in the States and all that, The Exorcist or The Silence of the Lambs?
I'll go Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
I'm a big Hannibal uniform fan.
Nice.
I've never seen The Exorcist, actually. I've only seen the head spinning around scene.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to back Tom on that one. I actually haven't seen either of them, but I've heard about Silence of the Lambs. So from what I gather, that's more interesting.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to check out one of the two then with the with
Yeah, so
all the
I'll add
horror
it to
stuff.
those two next week.
Nice. Who is the better villain? Pennywise from It or Chucky from Child's Play?
For me, I was terrified of Chucky in my childhood, so I'll say Chucky.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Chucky as well. I don't really get the whole clowns thing.
Yeah, no, neither.
Yeah.
Nice. The bands that you listen to, do you find them all signed or are they mostly unsigned?
Signed.
Lately for me, unsigned actually. Just a lot of local bands I reckon in Australia are really doing really well. Just big shout out to fucking Anticline and Vengeance as well. Bands from near us, and they're absolutely spectacular. Love them.
I'll shout out Munt and Inhibitor.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Big
what I like to
calls.
hear.
Two
I
other.
I like to learn more about like unsigned bands because man, there's hidden gems in those bands. And
Yeah, man, those four especially. Yeah, Munt, Inhibitor, Anticline, and Vengeance. You got to check them out. They do not get enough attention for sure.
sick, dude. Thanks for the plug. I appreciate it. We'll
Yeah,
check those
anytime.
out. And I'll try to drop those in the description for anyone listening or viewing.
Mad good.
All right. So, which would you find yourself at? A burger joint or a tapas bar?
Burgers.
Oh.
You
Yeah,
wouldn't find me
gonna
at
have to
a
go-
bar.
Yeah, gonna have to go burgers as well. Had a bad experience at a tapas bar that was a cocktail restaurant as well one time. So burgers for sure.
Yeah, burgers.
Nice. When you go to a show, are you going to stage dive or are you standing in the back?
I'm gonna be all up in everyone's grill, side to side, off the stage, jumping in people's faces, everything.
Sounds about right. I've been called out by bands more than once for standing there like this. I'm that guy. Like, I've been called out from the stage twice in my life.
Nice. Sometimes you
Yeah.
got to be that guy. There has to be
I'm
those
that
guys
guy,
there.
man. I'm that guy. It's like, don't touch me, don't mosh into me, like just don't stand in front of me. Yeah.
So
Nice.
I've got to say, we'll definitely stand up the back just to watch like a really good big act occasionally. When Red
Yeah.
Shaw did that once off show at Invasion, I just stood up the back and watched. I fucking loved it.
Nice. That's sick. As far as a franchise, did you like Spider-Man better or Fast and Furious?
Oh God.
Gotta say, Spider-Man definitely had me when I was a kid for sure.
Oh, probably. I'll say Fast and Furious. I was pretty
Nice.
do it, I think, but I'm not proud of it.
Hey, I'm right there with you. Like Spider-Man's been kind of wishy-washy as far as if I had to look at them as a collection. There was a few good ones, but a lot of them were kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
I reckon
Hard
probably
question,
just been
that.
this.
Yeah, and Fast and Furious is kind of like the butt rock of like action movies.
It is, isn't it? I haven't even seen them all. Like, I saw the latest one recently. I don't know, whatever, one of them. And it was where they had the fake Paul Walker at the end after he died.
Oh yeah.
It's like, all right, that's what it's about. Like,
Mm-hmm.
pretty underwhelming. But
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they definitely went off the rails after like the third or the fourth one. I will say that the first
True.
1 to 3 were really good.
1 to 3 were pretty cool. Yeah, pretty iconic actually.
Yeah, they really are. I think they definitely
Yeah.
changed culture, like car culture for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, had definitely an everlasting influence for sure. But then
Yeah.
they definitely just sort of devolved into like your cookie cutter action film after a bit. With
Yeah, yeah.
cars.
I think if they like stay true to like the street thing, I think it would still be like kind of popping. But yeah, they
Yeah,
kind of just went the
sort of
action
like
route. It's kind of
Action
weird.
Realm, yeah, got The Rock and all the other blokes in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jumping cars out of buildings, not quite the same as fucking neon lights and
No,
know
yeah, that's it.
upgraded
Yeah,
engines.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, I'll have to rewatch the old ones now. Now I'm thinking about it. But all right, so when you go on vacation, would you rather zip line or skydive?
Man,
I'm gonna go skydive because I've gone bungee jumping once, but haven't had the chance to jump out of a plane before. So definitely want to chuck that on the bucket list.
I'll say zip line because it's
Mm-hmm.
the less of the two. I think.
I think both equally as sketchy because you can still
So
get hurt.
sketchy. Yeah. No, no.
Oh, dude, I
Yeah.
can see your hoodie. Sick. Kubla Khan. I think he had to cut out. He said he only had 10 minutes or something like that.
Oh, okay. He's gone. Is he? Yeah. He might have
Yeah.
been on his work break.
Yeah, true. Well, shout out to him
Uh,
for hanging in
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Oh,
Don't know if you can still hear me or not. My phone's definitely having a hissy fit, but I've also been out here for about 20 minutes longer than I should. So just want to say thanks for having me, man. It was bloody sick. I wish I could stay around for longer, but we'll do it another time, I reckon.
yeah, definitely. Thanks for your time
Nick.
and yeah, get back in there and make your money.
Likewise, man. Thanks. Cheers. Catch you
Yeah,
guys.
Nick.
Bye.
Right, yeah.
Sick. All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna pick up where we left off. Horror movie again, just because it is October. So
Yeah.
Psycho or Scream?
Oh, I'll go Psycho. I
Mhm.
reckon. I reckon. Just yeah. Iconic. Can't beat it.
Have you seen any of the Bates Motel?
No. I've only seen the old Psycho, and I had to watch it at school.
Mhm. Oh wow.
But we still had to study it, so like
Oh, okay.
you kind of appreciate it a bit more. I think once you're sort of taught a few things. I'm no fanboy, but it's like, yeah, I'll pick those two.
I feel that.
Yeah.
You should check out Bates Motel. It's actually a pretty good TV show. It's pretty cool.
All right, I will actually.
Yeah, it's nothing like the original, but it just kind of goes more into him and the psychosis as a child. It's kind of interesting
Okay.
from that perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I will for sure.
All right, cool. All right, so it's kind of between two bands here, but Architects or While She Sleeps.
Oh, while she sleeps.
That's sick.
Um,
Have you checked
yeah,
out the
they've
new
actually
single?
Sorry, what's that?
Oh, sorry. Have you checked out the new single?
No, I haven't. I've seen it pop up. I have a big list at the moment of stuff to get through, and it's sort of it's in there. It's in there. No, the band, like Justin and I, we're actually quite big While She Sleeps fans. The guitarist and I, it's sort of one of those things. They've played in our town. Our city where we live is not huge, but
Mhm.
to get a band like that, it's quite a thing. So I got a very soft spot for them.
Definitely. What's your favorite album? Like, I need to get more into them. So, like, what's your favorite
While She
album?
Sleeps.
Mhm.
Can't tell you. I can't even tell you album name off the top of my head.
All right, fair enough.
I couldn't even tell you. The album with Four Walls.
Okay.
That's that song. That's just what I know it as. And they've got another video clip. I can't even tell you the name of the song now. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like, if you put me on the spot, I'll be like,
Yeah. I'll be able to tell you 10 minutes after this ends, but like, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Who would win in a fight? Optimus Prime or the Incredible Hulk?
Hulk.
Sick.
Yeah. Easy.
Good choice.
Yeah.
All right. Obviously, but both of these are good. But if you had to choose one, ultimately, deathcore or death metal?
Death metal, 100%.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Uh,
yeah, big fan.
Big fan. What's like your favorite death metal?
Um,
You can spitball a
I like
couple.
modern stuff. I like modern production.
Hmm.
Um, death metal, and deathcore, sort of the
Hmm.
same thing to me almost. Unless it's really corey, like I'll even consider Fit for an Autopsy death metal. You know, like
Yeah, yeah, it's
um,
true.
I'd consider Cattle Decap death metal rather than grind.
Hmm.
I have Suffocation's CD in my car at the moment.
Hmm.
What's that called? 2007 it came out. It's just got some absolute bangers. The solos, the beats, the vocalist, it's just sort of paramount stuff. But there we go. That answers that question.
Nice. Um, Chamber or Slaughter to Prevail?
Mm. Slaughter to Prevail, I reckon. But that's sort of moving into probably a bit too deathcore for me, I
Hmm.
think. Um, but both excellent bands. But I'll go Slaughter to Prevail. But it wouldn't be something I'd regularly listen to.
Right. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. I don't I can't even say the word right now. I don't normally listen to Slaughter to Prevail, but
Yeah.
Chamber has been like on my radar here lately.
Okay.
I
I'll
like
have
what
to check.
I like what they've
Yeah.
been doing lately. It's pretty sick.
I'll check some of the newer stuff. But yeah, no, cheers for putting me on that.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you've seen the show, but I'll give it a shot. The Boys or The Mandalorian?
I haven't seen either. I
Okay.
want to watch The Mandalorian, so I'll say that.
All right, sick. Yeah, I started to watch The Mandalorian, and that was kind of like a show that my wife wanted to watch with me. So like I kept like kind of like, like going around it so that way we could watch it together. But like we'd never actually just like sat down and watched it together. But we did watch The Boys, and I don't know if you know anything about that, but it's basically about like kind of like corrupt superheroes. It's
Ah,
interesting. Yeah, it's really cool. It's like superheroes that are more like human and don't always do good or whatever.
oh, yeah, right.
So I think you would
Sounds.
like that. It's pretty fucking funny, and it's just really cool.
I'd probably like that more than Mandalorian, to be honest. But
Yeah, I I like it a lot. And The Mandalorian is just clean cut and family friendly or whatever. The Boys most definitely isn't. It's
yeah, no, I have to check it.
yeah, it's funny. I don't want to give any of it away, but you'll definitely like it if you like kind of raunchier, more adult kind of humor.
Yeah,
There
for
you
sure.
go. I'll plug that.
All right.
Which do you like better, Circle Pit or Wall of Death?
Wall of Death. Wall of Death. I can't run in a circle real good. Like it's hard. It's really difficult. People grabbing you and Wall of Death, just straight pummel. Work every time. Open it up. Yeah.
It's really sick to see. It's like such a surreal thing to actually witness like a wall of death.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And the Indian one. Like,
Just talking about bands and off the hip or whatever, but what show did you go to where you saw the craziest wall of death?
believe it or not, it would have been Parkway Drive or
I
a
can see that.
suicide silence. Um,
Oh yeah.
thinking we used to have these outdoor festivals, very similar to Warp Tour called Soundwave in
Hmm.
Australia, or No Sleep till Melbourne or wherever city you're from. And there was a suicide silence, Mitch Lucker, Wall of Death, and the joint just opened up.
Wow.
And we have a venue in Australia called Festival Hall. It's just a really big place. And that
Mhm.
was, I don't know how many people fit in there, 10,000, I guess. That was just opened up. You know, 5,000 people crushing into each other. It was just phenomenal. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm incredibly jealous that you got to see Mitch. Rest in peace, Mitch.
Yeah. Um,
That's amazing.
yeah, yeah. It
Um,
was,
oh, sorry. I wasn't trying to cut
yeah,
you off there.
yeah.
Which headliner would you rather open for? Lamb of God or Deftones?
this would be a 50-50 split in the band. I'll go Deftones, but I dare say two of the other members will say Lamb of God.
All right.
Personally, Deftones, but you know they're equally as good.
I feel you on that, man. I'm a huge Deftones fan, and they really kind of got me into the metal genre, I would say, honestly. And I followed them for as long as I can remember. So yeah, I think I would have to choose Deftones, even though I don't play or whatever. But if I had to choose between the two, I would totally pick Deftones.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Do
right,
you like the
so
new? Oh, sorry. Do you like
no,
the,
you're good.
do you like
I
the new?
do. I do like it. Ohms is pretty sick. I need to listen to it again.
Yeah,
It kind of reminded me of like older like Deftones kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm kind of jaded right now. I need to listen to it a couple more times. Like, off first listen, it kind of feels kind of like uninspired in a way. Kind of feels like
yeah,
they're just trying to catch that old wave again. And I don't know if I like it yet, honestly.
yeah. I'm a Deftones fanboy, so I've argued with my mates about how good it is, and they're just like, "No, it's average. It's average." And it's, I'm fan. I'll admit it.
Or at least you admit it.
Yeah,
So this would be awesome if you could have either or, but would you rather have all the tattoos you ever wanted or all the beer you could ever drink?
all the times. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, all the times.
Nice. What's the last tattoo you got?
I think my arm. I think it started. Yeah, it would have been my arm. Oh no, these ones. Yeah, I'm sort of I'm filling in. It's sort of the ones you can't see.
Right.
Um, yeah. Local tattoo artist George Hollick, good friend of mine. Plug. Um,
Nice.
yeah, but having this lockdown and everything, all the tattoo studios are closed,
Hmm.
so it's been a very long time.
Yeah, things opened up here, but I don't know, man. I'm still trying to keep my distance, and I'm not trying to go business as usual on my daily life. I think I should take it serious because like your country, like you guys are taking it way more serious than I would say in the States, man.
Yeah,
So
very serious. Um, yeah, but hopefully it all opens up soon. I
yeah,
guess.
for sure. So like, well, I'll get more into that after we get through these questions, but I do want to know like, just like how the country is like providing like the citizens or whatever, if they're stimulating you guys and that kind of stuff. So we'll kind of get into that in here in a second, but because I'm
Yeah,
almost done here with the questions. Um, which band do you like better, End or Body Snatcher?
end at the moment. But Body Snatcher, some of their earlier stuff, awesome,
Mhm.
awesome. Heard any of their latest stuff if they have, but End is um, a regular on my Spotify, whatever. Um, yeah, they're going to be huge.
Yeah, man, it's a super group. It's crazy. I don't think a lot of people like know about them. Maybe I don't know, but I think
Yeah,
once people figure out who's in the band, they're gonna really get
yeah,
behind it.
they're definitely breaking through. I don't know what the album's called. I know the artwork's at the face.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, that's a ripper, absolute ripper of an album. Um, I love that sort of. I don't know what you call it. Sort of darker hardcore, I guess. Like darker
Yeah.
blend. I think people used to call it metallic hardcore, but I don't even know what that is anymore.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I don't know. I get more of a straight up, more of like a hardcore vibe.
Yeah,
I like how you
yeah,
guys are, like in between like metal and hardcore, but I wouldn't call it like metalcore.
no, that's it. That's it. Um, no, just a talented band doing the right things.
Oh
And
yeah. That's very true. Shout out to Brandon Murphy and Will Putney. I love that fucking band, dude. Like I can't get enough. I can't wait. That is going to be a show that I'm going to have to catch if they do tour at all. If you can break away from Counterparts for a second or fit.
Yeah.
Which would you like to visit? I don't know if you've been to either or, but the States or the UK?
50-50 split. Never been there. Are you talking personally or a band?
Just personally.
Personally, probably the States.
Mhm.
Um, more in line with more different things to do. The UK would be very similar to Australia.
Okay. I've heard this. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard Australia is kind of like the Texas of the UK.
I guess. Yeah, we're a penal colony. Like the worst of us, the worst of the English got sent out here at the first. Like, 200, 300 years ago, we're kind of pretty bad stock. Like,
That's cool. I really do want to visit your country. From what I've seen, just based off TV and travel and stuff. I mean, it's beautiful.
yeah,
The
yeah.
stuff that I've seen. I mean, I can't wait. And what the culinary scene's pretty popping out there, right?
So what's that?
Like the whole culinary and the food out there is pretty legit.
Yeah. I guess just because it's a popular destination country, people come here, they love it, and they settle here, and they bring their little piece of the world with them, and it's all for the better. Like I know in our town in the last 10 years, we used to have a Chinese, a pizza restaurant, fish and chips. That's about it. But now you can nearly get anything. We have Mexican here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Mexican, Vietnamese, that kind of stuff. Things would have to travel to a big city to get. So, that's big food destination.
Nice. All right. Would you rather be on a reality show or would you rather be on a game show?
Game show. Need to win some money.
Uh,
Price is right.
The Price is Right. Sick.
Yeah, nail it. Not Jeopardy. I can't figure that game out. Like that's on our TV sometimes, and I just don't know what they're doing.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Well, I've approached my final icebreaker question. And what is a band that you would just love to pick their brain about all things music?
Pick their brain. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
Look, I'll probably say AC/DC.
Nice.
I love them. I just want to hear some stories.
Basically. Oh, that's not really picking their brain about music, but I just want to hear cool stuff they've seen. In terms of the new band, probably Code Orange.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, kind of like
Just where do they get the inspiration and that kind of stuff? Like
Mm-hmm.
their influences almost. That'd be a cool group of people to sort of sit down for a couple hours and, learn from.
Yeah, dude, that's good answers, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically it for my icebreaker questions. I hope you enjoyed those as much as I did.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So what have you been up to lately?
Ben, we've just finished tracking our EP. It's taken a good couple of months just due to the lockdowns. We've released 2 singles. We've got 2 more songs to go, 2 more singles to release, and then the EP is coming. Basically, we're networking at the moment as a band. We're trying to break through. That's the long and the short of it. We found an opportune moment. We're writing music that people are receptive to. And we're sort of just, what we're doing now is just what we're trying to get up to. Like, the podcast, talking to people, getting the name out. But in terms of music, next year we plan to release 2 records. Next year, like really pump it out.
Wow.
And just get a catalogue. We've got a lot of it written, a lot of the whole first record written, and then we're just going to keep pumping and pumping. With all the stuff that we have released now, we wrote this last year, so for the most part. So we're behind our schedule, but we're still doing okay.
Awesome. Okay, you know what time it is. It's time to take a break and check out this week's hidden gem in the mid-roll. And of course, on this week's episode, we're going to feature Nicolas Cage Fighter with their single Devil's Head. I kept fucking that up in the interview. I think I kept saying Devil's Hand. Big apologies to that. It's not Devil's Hand. It's Devil's Head. I don't know why I keep fucking that up. Check out this banger of a song. This week's mid-roll. I know you guys need to hear some musics, so check it out, and then we'll get back into the interview.
Get out of my head! When I already you're so close that I can't even taste the resentment. With the sense of my zombies and nothing within me. Once again I recognize the echo manifest. I can't stand this. The devil lies within. Leave me alone. Leave me alone inside.
Well, anyway, so yeah, Black Jackal, Devil's Head is sick. So I have to ask, if you're comfortable with that, answering why the hiatus. You guys are super talented.
Yeah. Okay. Band started September 2011. We went absolutely hammer and tongs for 2 years, playing every show we could up and down the country. I left at some point. Our drummer left, and we found replacement musicians who are awesome musicians. And then the band relocated to Queensland, which is a long way away. It's basically like moving from New York to Florida, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of immensity. Because I was working down here, I was sort of starting a new career, so I couldn't go with them. And then 2014 rolls around, still couldn't secure a bassist up in Queensland. I flew up for a few gigs, and it kind of just fizzled out. We just couldn't make it work. We weren't getting the attention we wanted. And yeah, we just sort of said, "Oh, that's cool." You know, no intention to ever play in a band again.
Oh wow.
So to call it a hiatus, we've just, you know, we came back. We just Justin and I wanted to form another band at one point. We were going to call it something different. And then when the opportunity to reform, which was for a one-off gig, that's where we got Nick as the vocalist. So we reformed, we had a lot of fun, and that's, you know, a one-off show become a, let's continue this. And the songs that were written, or the ideas that were there, went into Nicolas Cage Fighter songs. And that was Hell and Me and Fistful of Snakes, which we did at the start of the year, just as like a, you know, so we had something out. But the focus was always this record, Cast You Out.
Okay.
So, yeah, the hiatus and the return, they're both unexpected and unplanned.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious because, you know, because I feel like, and this is just my opinion, but like core bands and stuff like that, like hardcore, deathcore, metalcore, what have you. It's kind of, in my opinion, it's starting to pop off again. Like you're seeing a lot more bands, and it's such a good time to get back into it, you know, off the hiatus or whatever. So just, you know, just asking from, you know, your personal perspective, how much has changed in the scene as far as like you remember, like when you were doing it prior till now?
In terms of band management, it's 100% revolution. Like there wasn't much online, you know, like now everything you do is online. Back then it was more about your live show. So I'm talking even 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Now there's just such a huge emphasis on social media and numbers and numbers and plays and data. So that's basically our focus as a band. We're like, how can we get more streams? How can we get more views? How can we get more people? More people, basically. Instead of how can we get people into our gigs? It's like, we get people to follow us. That's the big one now, I think. So I think the difference in 6 or 7 years in leaving the music industry for 6 years, you now run a band as a business rather than a musical venture. The music's just a product you sell in your business. If I can, I'm not saying it's heartless. Like, this is 100% passion, but if you want anywhere, you've got to be a business manager, and you've got to run your band, and you've got to think like you're selling a product. So that means choosing your target audience, getting everything right to. Rather than just get in the van and go play a gig. All online now. So
that's interesting. So like pre-hiatus or whatever, were you guys like, you know, doing well on Spotify, or was that even a thing at the time?
Wasn't a thing. Was like would have existed, but it was YouTube. Like you had YouTube, and like even the band, there was a thing on Facebook, like band place or something it was called, that was like relatively new in about 2012. It was like the band profile on your Facebook where you can stream your music and stuff. Like I remember when that came in.
Yeah.
A lot of the weird kind of like little sites, like I don't want to name drop any, but just sort of music, like local music ranking chart kind of websites and posting your music and post a picture kind of stuff. And they're all fizzled out now. So I'll say Reverb Nation's one of them.
Okay, yeah.
That was a web. So you can go in there and find info on any band, but it's not important anymore. It's irrelevant because like you can go into Spotify and you can have all their music there. You can have their bio and their links, and social media. You don't have to go to a third party website to find band information, basically. So
Nice. Yeah, that's
yeah,
super interesting. It really has evolved so much, and it is all about Spotify. And earlier when I asked you about While She Sleeps, so they put out this new music video
yeah,
for Sleep Society, which is their new single. But I don't want to like spoil it. But in the beginning of the music video, it's like a fake press conference, and they're basically saying that there's a problem with how people get paid for music now, and the whole streaming thing is just out of whack, and like you have to do so many numbers just to get like 20 quid or whatever. And
yeah, yeah.
so is there anything that you want to say about that, like the current state of like how musicians get paid now? Like what would you like to see changed, I guess, like coming in the future?
Um, Look, I'm appreciative of it. Like I know we don't get paid much, but I don't want to knock the system too much off the bat. But look, it would be better to get better royalties. So Spotify compared to like I think it's Jay-Z's Deezer is
Mhm.
like half the amount. So I know off Spotify, I know you get $4 per 1,000 streams. So that's what you get. Deezer, you'd get something like $10. Um, So like when you're talking thousands of streams, that's quite a lot of money. But um, look, I don't know. Um, I don't know how to fix it. I don't. I'd like to say musicians should get more money, but I think it would just open up to people sort of rigging it, like using like bots to get plays and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Just making it into a commercial farm where it's really badly taxed and over-regulated, and um, I think in the future, like it'll get better. Um, it'll get better, for the small time fish, and sort of level the playing field. Like I think if I were to go to Spotify and suggest, I would say, once you get to 1 million plays, you're sort of throttled. Like your royalties are throttled down. So
Mhm.
your first 2,000 plays, you get, let's say, a lot of money, and then as you get into the tens and tens of millions, you're starting to only get a couple of cents. So that's what I would think would fix it.
Mhm.
I don't know much about like label royalties or anything like that. Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they pay or the deals or anything yet. But for Spotify, look, I think it doesn't cover any cost, but I think just the little bit that you do gets good.
Mhm.
It but yeah,
Yeah, it just kind of seems like one of those things that's jaded. Either you like it or you don't. I think it's good. It's a good platform for people, that aren't signed, and it's a good opportunity to gain exposure. You guys are on some pretty notable editorials on Spotify, which is how I found you guys actually. So, can you credit a lot of your traction now to being on this playlist?
absolutely, absolutely. It's as a band member, it's we get the email saying, "Oh, you're going to be, the cover for this or that next week." It's like Christmas. Like
Mhm.
we go in our little group chat. Like it's just huge. Like it's I don't know. Like it's
Did you have like an in? Did you know somebody like that got you on there, or was it just pure like luck?
luck, luck,
No kidding.
100%. We don't really know anyone. We
Mhm.
got the email actually from Spotify that just said, "Hey, can we use your photo?" And we're just like, "Yeah, well, of course you can." Um, yeah, no, we don't really know anyone. Since a few of the songs have come out, like people in the industry have reached out and they're just like, "Hey, I'm this person from this company," and
Mhm.
it's still pretty exciting that they're emailing us rather than me emailing them,
Mhm.
um, which is pretty cool.
That is cool. Are you working with a publicist or any kind of marketing company right now?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're working with a publicist, I guess you'd call them, just public relations. They're just sort of helping us. They teach us what to do to get our name out there, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that well, sorry if you don't mind me asking or whatever. Is that a service that you pay for? Or is that just something that came along with the traction?
It's a service. Anything like that these days, everything's monetized. It's not pay for fame. If our music was crap, like people would know. It's not. Yeah, we don't have the money to force fame to ourselves. Like we wish we did, but this look, it's merit. Like it's our own merit that we wrote the songs that got the publicist to go, hey, I can help you advertise, and we're like, yeah, all right, we'll give you a go. So,
really
and
interesting.
that's how we sort of, what does that do for us? I don't really know, to be honest, exactly. I just know that the amount of people that are sort of following the band and stuff, whoever they're sending your name to and sort of getting to the right places, I think they post ads and things like, listen to this band. I think that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sick. Well, I have to ask. I'm not gonna ask you where the name came from. I'm not that guy, but I do enjoy the name a lot. I think it says a lot about you guys that you don't, take yourselves too seriously and you like to have fun with what you do.
Yeah.
So, like, what was the deal with the name? I guess I really just want to know.
Means nothing. The old vocalist and I wanted to form a band, and we're just like, who can we get to play guitar? And Justin was suggested.
Mm-hmm.
So we called him up and he said, I'm not joining your band unless it's called Nicolas Cage Fighter. And we're like, all right, that'll do. It's just his humour. He's just a genius. Like, he's just a funny guy. And you can compare it to something like Buried Alive or Hunt the Dinosaur, maybe. Sorry, I'm on camera. But maybe Hunt the Dinosaur or something, but it's not. It's more of a pun. Made a lot of plans in case Nicolas Cage tries to sue us. Like,
I was kind of wondering about that too.
We think about that every day. We'll just say no. It's Nicolas Cage Fighter.
Yeah, it's different, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Just play on.
You could just be like, it's about a cage fighter named Nicolas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like it's a funny name, but we're not a funny band. Like there's not one bit of humor in it. It's really serious issues we talk about. Yeah, it's not a joke. Like,
understood. Have you ever heard of the band Oakley Dokley?
Yeah. I do. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna share my screen real quick, but so this is them, if you guys don't know, and this is what we're talking about. So Oakley Dokley, go check them out. They're all dressed up like Ned Flanders from The Simpsons, and they're pretty awesome band.
Yeah. No, they're awesome. Like, a bit of humor to it, but like they're good musicians. It's a good song.
Oh yeah, great musicians.
Or whatever it's called, white wine something.
White Wine Spritzer. Yeah, everyone check that out.
One of their songs. No, they're good. They're good. Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, like, speaking of like new music and stuff like that, I really liked the production that I heard in your new singles. What producer did you guys choose to roll with, or how did that come about?
Right. Our engineer, so the fellow that records us, he's a local musician. He's very studious fellow, like just like knows everything, like wants to know everything about music. So he's just a good choice. We recorded our drums with him, guitar, bass, and vocals for Hell and Me and this whole record. In terms of the mixing and mastering, we went to an old friend, Roman Coaster, of the Red Shore, Boris the Blade,
Oh, sick.
Who else did he play? One more. A few more bands.
Mhm.
He's a pretty well-known Aussie guitarist, and he produced our first record, 3350. So he wanted to be involved. So we've sort of split the duties on this latest record. But you know, a lot of credit goes to Kai at KB Audio Ballarat. And I'll plug his band too, Upon World's End and Earth Alone, two bands that he's into, deathcore bands.
Awesome.
But we enjoy working with him. He has really good equipment to work with, like really good toys. He's knowledgeable. He pushes us. He does not accept a sloppy note. Like, you will be there all day, like, until you hit it. And yeah, it's good. It makes us better.
Oh,
It
yeah.
makes us
Totally worth it. You guys sound great. I loved the singles. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So anyways, before we get into like crazy road stories and kind of wrap it up, I want to know about the new record, Cast You Out. But you mentioned actually that you guys probably have 2 albums worth of content, if you
Yep.
will. So anything that you want to talk about with that, like maybe some themes or like the summary of the concept, or just anything you want to share about these albums?
Of the new stuff that we're recording next year, do you mean? Or the stuff that we've done now?
The stuff like the singles that are going to be on the album. I guess Cast You Out is what you're working on right now.
Oh, yep. So Cast You Out's done. We just haven't released it all. So I'll talk about that. That's a theme about mental health, and it's basically, everyone knows of the term the black dog. So black dog of depression, sort of follows you around. We sort of personified that into something a bit more evil and sinister. So we called it the Black Jackal. And basically it's just an album about wishing or forcing out through change and through behavior and better thoughts, just forcing out that black dog, and cast you out, cast out the negativity. In some way, it's a concept album. Like, it follows the introduction, then the second song's Cast You Out. Our third song's Devil's Head, and that song's about symptoms of mental illness and mental health. But you're not really wearing your own head. It's like, the religious themes are sort of just, it's just a thing. We just call it like Devil's Head. It's not a religious thing. Dead Ends is our next single, which we should have out 3 weeks. And that's the big one that's basically about recognizing change. And it's the end of the line for the Black Jackal, basically. Like, end of the line for the symptoms of mental illness. And I'm not saying a cure, but it's more about the behavior and the social, implications of mental health. You got to get rid of the worst of it to start a recovery. And it's just sort of like, it's not about anyone or anything. It's just a theme that we all sort of went through. Like, we're just like, let's talk about mental health and defeating it, and that kind of thing. Let's create a positive album rather than slaughter and this and that. just having a message, like, yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. See, I didn't know that, so I'm totally glad I asked that question. I'm a huge advocate for mental health awareness and just just being self-aware and stuff like that. So that's very sick. I mean, that's honorable.
The self-aware album, you're right. Like, that's the word. It's about being self-aware and not making excuses, finding what's your personality and finding what's a mental illness, basically. And just fixing that, and not illness, just any issues, whether it's anxiety or depression or substance abuse. You just cast it out into the line for it. And the last song on the album's called Exile, and that's a turnaround song about basically the Black Jackal's gone. So what was it? The record, that's all gone now, and it's about you. Like, you can be who you are. So we sort of wanted to start and finish, and we've done that in these 5 songs. And to make sure it's heard, we've decided to put out 4 singles. So
nice, yeah.
yeah, four singles out of 5 songs on this record, just so the message is heard.
Yeah, that's cool. So what I wanted to ask before I start wrapping it up basically is, have you guys had like any tour experience? And if so, do you have any crazy road stories that you're willing to share?
Tour stories. Right, tour. Ours have been pretty normal, I will say. Like, we obviously haven't been on a tour since 2013. We played a gig in Brisbane once, and we got into a bit of trouble with the bouncers because some of our mates just got too into it. Ended up being a bit of a brawl, and it spilled out onto the street, that kind of stuff. That's sort of the craziest thing. It's probably just a little bit of a fight. One time, I think in Canberra, I wasn't involved, but there were these. We went to like a nightclub after a gig, and there were some blokes there that were, I think they thought we were selling drugs or something in their nightclub, and we're just like, nah. And so they, some of the bandmates and some of the mates sort of run back to the hotel, like, oh, we nearly got bashed by these blokes. And that's sort of about it, really. Like, we were pretty tame and green in our early days, but nothing crazy. Like, yeah, nothing crazy. We just wanted to get home, really. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but we played some, like, I guess any tour, playing anywhere is crazy. Like, any different new town. You drive to a town and there's people stoked to see you. Personally, a crazy moment. Like the band got us to sign drumsticks, like we were famous when we were just like some, band a long time ago. I think signing autographs is quite crazy. We're nobody. Hopefully they don't still have that drumstick. Like,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah.
Well, dude, I appreciate your time today. And, I'm glad that you were able to speak to me, and I was glad I got to pick your brain about the band and like everything else coming up in the future. So I just want to say thank you. And I'm going to ask the last question, and I always like to go out in a fun way because we start off in a fun way. So my last question for you today or tonight for me, if you could have anything in the world, tangible or not, what would it be?
Can I be cheesy and whimsical? Can I say just, universal happiness? Or can I say something like, I'd like at one moment in the world everyone to have a meal in front of them that, every person in the world gets one. Something like that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Personally, if I want to go the selfish route, probably just more guitars and amps. Just a house full of guitars and amps and drum kits and just stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cars maybe, motorbikes. Just rich
Nice.
people stuff.
Rich people stuff that we can't afford.
That's right.
Well, dude, I really appreciate your time, dude. So thank you so much for being on the show, and, tell everyone else I said what's up, and, keep doing your thing, keep ripping. And, hopefully I can't wait to see the new album when that drops. So
No worries. Thanks for having us, or me and Nick. Hopefully talk to you again soon.
Yeah, definitely. So any final thoughts, anything in particular you want to tell the viewers about your band, or anything you want to say before we head out?
Just a thank you. A thank you for everyone who's listened, making our dreams come true, really. It's still early days, but like we're just so stoked that we have the opportunity to do this, that people like what we do. We do this. Ultimately, you form a band for yourself, for your own pleasure, but it's just awesome that people enjoy what we do. And to this scale, it's getting wide now. So that's what I'd like to say. Just thanks for everyone that's sort of given us hope.
Oh, yeah.
Really motivates.
Sick. Well, sick way to go out. So there you have it. Nicolas, Cage Fighter. Go check out the new single, Devil's Head. Thanks again for being on the show, and let me know if there's anything I can do for you guys. Yo, that pretty much does it for today's podcast episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, I really do appreciate it. Every listen I get, it just means a whole lot to me. And if you want to support the podcast, you can do so. There's a link down below. I think it's through Anchor. You can contribute as less or as much as you want to, and you don't have to do that at all if you don't want to. Of course, it would just be dope if you shared or something like that. Just let other people know about the podcast, because all these platforms, they do a fucking shitty job of helping promote podcasts. So if you like the show, please recommend it to a friend or give me a dope ass rating or something like that. Or just keep tuning in as always, because I'll keep doing my thing. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And until I see you guys on a future video, shine on.
Hell yeah.